From the very beginning, God said it's not good for a man to be alone. You might find yourself alone today, but today we're going to talk to you about how you can be connected with your purpose because you can get connected with brothers. You don't want to miss it. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome to the Kingsman podcast. We're so excited y'all joined us today. We're going to be talking to you today about this theme. The devil is for isolation, but God is for integration. I don't know if you're like most men everywhere. At some point, we feel alone, right? And a lot of men feel alone right now. That might be you. But we want to dive into this issue, how the devil wants to separate you from your strength. God wants to connect you to your strength. The devil wants to separate you from your purpose. God wants to connect you to your purpose. And that is directly related to our relationship with each other and having a brotherhood. So we're going to talk about it today. With that being said, I got some good brothers here with me today. My brother Micah Hickman and my brother Todd Goodwin is here with us to help answer some questions. We're just going to talk about it. And as we talk about it, we're going to give you practical ways not only to know why it's important to be connected as brothers, but how you can do it as well. So guys, we're going to jump right into it. We know that isolation is the devil's playground. He loves to get men isolated. Very dangerous place. We've talked about it before. I'm just going to touch on that real quick. And Todd, I'm going to ask you the first question. Why do you think the enemy uses isolation as such a powerful weapon against men?
Well, first of all, in the beginning, God said it wasn't good for a man to be alone. Because we know he immediately made Eve, but it's also about relationship because man was made for relationship. Yeah. The scripture says that. However, Satan knows, just like anything, you can isolate. The wild animal kingdom knows that. They know if they can isolate something or some small being, they can go out and they can kill them because they don't have the protection and the provision of the herd or of a relationship.
I was thinking when you said the animal kingdom and how they operate, same thing about the Bible says in 1 Peter 5:8, to be sober and vigilant. There's an adversary that we face, this enemy, right? We call him the devil. There's this real adversary, and he is a roaring lion. Now, picture, the lions, they wait till their prey's alone. They don't just go after the herd all the time unless there's a bunch of them. If they're by themselves, they wait and they get them isolated, and that's when they attack. And I think it's the same way with men. It's
because
funny that
we're
you
weak.
brought that up.
We are weak without our brothers.
Right, like those sheep.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, so that leads me to the next question, Micah. So here's the great question. What are some modern ways that men end up isolated today? In other words, why do you think men today especially end up isolated even when they're surrounded by people?
I think because it's praised, it's honored. It's held up in the standard of the lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a lone wolf mentality.
Yeah.
It's it's almost expected, like if you're going to go far, other people, and I've listened to this, and the podcast and what I was listening to was not wrong. It's just how I heard it. It's like it was manipulative in the way that other people aren't going to dream your dreams.
Right.
You can't expect other people to have the same passion about your dreams, your goals, your aspirations for your family. You have to get up.
Yeah.
You have to go get it. You have to be, and one of the things I love about E.T. is he talks about a lion or a gazelle. Right?
Yeah.
Both of them, they wake up in the morning and they're running.
Yeah.
They're going. And I thought of it like this. Lone wolves starve.
Yeah.
The pack eats daily.
Yeah.
Yep.
I read that in a book. It was Ray Dalio and a couple other ones. He said the stupidest thing that the young guys are doing is they think they got to do it alone.
Yeah.
And they're reinventing the wheel. He said the thing that I took from it was if you want to be a lone wolf, you'll go far in a hurry. But you always end up starving trying to make your way back to a pack.
Yeah.
And he said the wolves that leave on their own, and this is what was crazy, when they leave on their own and they try to come back to the pack, they're either put with the old decrepit in the back or they're killed immediately.
Yeah.
Which is wild. And I feel like that's something, at least for my generation, that's preached. If you're going to go get your money, go make a name for yourself. That's not bad. It's not. In fact, I think it's important to have aspirations as a man.
Absolutely.
You have to. But you also got to remember, I love wolves because, dude, they're smart.
Yeah.
God, they're smart. And they've been around forever. there's never just one. There's never just the alpha.
Right.
He's not an alpha
Right. They
without
work in a pack.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's being preached and being put out on all these social medias and all the different outlets that nobody's going to take care of you. There is a point in becoming a man.
Well, I agree with the fact that they're saying no one's going to take care
That's
of
right.
you because we've grown up, as we were talking about earlier, we've grown up without somebody. We had to take care of ourselves as a young age. A lot of kids are latchdoor or what do they call it? Latchkey kids. They come in, mom and dad at work. So there's nobody there. So they've had to learn how to defend for themselves.
Right.
And like Mike said, and they go, well, I got to try to do it on my own.
Yeah, yeah.
So everybody goes that way, and I think
I think it's harmless, but I go back to kind of what we said a few podcasts ago. I almost believe, Todd, that that's the long game that Satan has played.
well, yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Oh, he plays a long game. He doesn't play a short game.
Yeah.
He wants to take you out, but he's not going to take you out
Yeah.
overnight. It's
He
gonna
don't
be
show
a
it
little
to you.
bit.
It makes it look good.
Because it's not just a decision that I'm with you guys and then I just decide, tomorrow, like,
Yeah.
screw y'all, dude. I don't need y'all.
Yeah.
I can do it. I never had anybody.
Yeah.
And it's not, intentional that I cut you off. It's just I've never had somebody in.
Well, he makes it look great and almost celebrated if you are
Yeah.
alone and you do it alone as a man, and it makes you somehow stronger and more manly if
Oh,
we
that's
do
good.
it. And
Yeah.
that's what
That's
the
right.
alpha is. He's by himself. But like you brought up the pack, I like the alpha. You can have an alpha, but he's part of the pack.
That's right.
And I think about even stories in the Bible. Think about David, King David, one of the most celebrated men in the Bible, tough man, warrior man. I mean, he killed Goliath. But David doesn't even get to where he's going to get if he doesn't have Jonathan.
Yep.
Or somebody.
That's good.
God connects you with people, brothers, that if you don't have that connection, you're not getting to that next spot. But why do you think? And it could be either one of you. I'm thinking in where we live in today, God made us for relationships. So there's this void. I feel like that we kind of know it's there when we don't have that relationship, when we don't have that brother. But do you think there's something to other things that might substitute for that, or it's a fake substitute?
Yeah.
A false substitute.
Tons of stuff.
Yeah.
Your own ambition.
Yeah.
Your job.
Yeah.
I feel better. Men, we're builders.
Yeah.
We want to build something.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I'm not just talking about a house. I'm not talking. We build our career. We build our family. We build our houses. We build our cars. We build whatever the case. Because I think that's also part of what God put in us.
Yeah.
That we're creative people.
Yeah.
We want to create. We want to build something. Because when we do, we go, oh, look at what I did. And a lot of times we think we can do that alone.
Yeah.
We can't do it alone.
Yeah.
We weren't meant to do it alone. That's part of why the church exists.
Yep.
Now, when I say this, a lot of people are going to go, oh, but the church is a very exclusive body,
Yeah.
not an organization. You go, what?
Right.
The church is not meant there for all the lost people to come in. It's not. It's for us.
Yeah.
How will the
Yeah.
world know that Jesus Christ is God?
Yeah.
Is that we love each other.
Yeah.
And when we don't love each other, they don't see Jesus.
That's right.
And the reason I'm saying that is because what we do, from this relationship, from our connecting, we go out into the world.
Right.
And that's where we, as men of God and people of God, we change the world.
Yeah. Well, we have, in the church today, especially in America where we're at, I think that is part of the thing with brothers not being as close and working together and having that brotherhood as much. Because I think the generation we live in today, for example, it's a crazy example, but I was watching the other day on TV, and it was like a 60 Minutes, and this dude was talking about how he had this girl he was in love with, and it ended up being an AI. It was just someone he talked to.
I saw that, dude.
You seen it?
I saw that.
Like, he was being honest. Like,
Yes.
dude had tears in his eyes. He's like, I can't really, hug her, but she's there for me. Like, that's how lonely it is. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, this is just some computer chip that's like putting out words. But it's because a man wants the relationship, but there's these other things that we're finding that the devil's propping out there. Like, you can just have this and this, but it's not a real relationship where they can really draw strength from. Whether it's our phones or whatever technology brings, and all these different things that you can, before we can get connected to the world.
Yes.
Like right now, me and you sit here, we can instantly connect to something. But before there was nothing. You was just out there.
But what do we mean by connecting?
Well, that's what I mean. I'm just saying, I think it's a false connection.
Yeah.
But I think in our mind, we have someone there, just like the example of this man. Like in our mind, we have something that we're not alone. Someone that's listening to me, or I can talk to some person through computer, online, and I feel like a lot of people are latching onto that to the point that social medias are creating.
They're latching
their
onto
own
it because they're not getting it.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
They're not getting it because we were designed for that,
right?
Not to be alone. And since we're not getting it, we're going to go find it somewhere. So the enemy, Satan, comes in and go, oh, well, I'm going to give you a substitute. I'm going to give you what I want you to have, and you're going to think it's real when it's not.
And that's all the devil always does. He's just a pervert. He just twists
He perverts everything.
He just twists God's original plan and props it up like it's the real thing.
Part of it with jobs and stuff, like I'll go back to him or building stuff. Like I think it starts off as there's several things that save people. Right, like I have friends where sports saved them.
I'm a living testimony of that,
dude. In where that's why they coach, right? But then somewhere it gets twisted in my own testimony that I've shared, where it's went from God-given gift to how talented I am, okay, and then it turns into I am getting lack of, or I feel that maybe in my marriage or in simple relationships where I'm me-based, right? It's me-based and I'm not getting this. I'm not getting praised for my efforts. Maybe you're not doing anything quote unquote wrong. You're working your tail off. You're trying to raise your children right. You're trying to have a good marriage, best you think. But marriage is hard. You don't, love languages change. I didn't know that. You knew that. Who knew that?
After it happened, I knew that.
I've been hammering the same 3 love languages for 5. And we're like, what are we, but okay, that changes and evolves as your relationship evolves. And all of a sudden you're not getting things. Well, why do you latch on? If you're not latched on to, I know what the Father says about me and let him speak into you. Or if you don't have those 3 or 4 guys that call you once a week, just once a week, maybe, and share, God's doing something cool. Let me tell you about what God did here. And all of a sudden it kind of like, man, dude, you said something and it just, okay, that kind, I'm not talking about pouring out your heart, but what work does and things like that do is, at least for me, I feel like it seems like at work, men especially, the harder you work, if you pull the impossible off, what do you get? Affirmation. Gratitude sometimes. You get an immediate reward of financials, status. You get a promotion. Coaching-wise, why do people like myself get lost in the grind, right? One, the grind is praise, right? We talked about that. The grind's praise. Because I'm continuously, the promotion, the gratitude, all of that, if I leave the Lord out of it, and I'm not integrated, like what you say, in what he really says about me, that is my affirmation. And that's what it is now, at least for younger guys.
And when it's gone, when all that affirmation, all that's gone, you're left empty because you bought the
with
lie.
a marriage that's just clinging or in tatters with kids.
Or they go, well, we just grew apart. You grew apart because you weren't building a relationship. That goes back to what I said earlier, is that God put that in us to build. 100%. So we've got to learn how to build those relationships. And we don't just wait on Remo to do it. We don't wait on Micah to do it. You step up and go for it. And some people go, well, I'm just an introvert. And I get that. I understand that. I'm married to a wife who's very introverted. But God knows how to bring it out of her.
I was about to say, to combat that a little, mine is too. Like my wife's happy spot is laying. I'm telling you.
Easy.
And I love her today. And I'm telling you, it's not like she just wants to. She just not with me. I'm just saying. Laying, like, just she wants to be alone. Like Mother's Day gift. She wanted
Leave me alone.
Yes, that's what she wanted. And
Give her peace.
I gave it to her, and she was, the next day, it was unreal. She was just, that would be my torture.
Yeah.
That would be insanity to me. But the introvert thing, and I get that. Like sometimes, dude, it's been a
Being
couple of
introverted
months.
doesn't mean you don't need anybody. That's just the kind of a personality
Personality might be a little bit
Yes.
reserved.
They don't speak out like me and you. Somebody goes, "Hey, what do you think?" I'm
not
going to
everybody's
tell
the
you
same.
right off the
I
bat.
think reserved is really good.
Yeah.
Reserved, and there's a lot of men, like dudes, like dudes that are reserved.
Yeah.
They're not. But how do you? I think okay. We've established we need the relation. I need to integrate not just into the word. Okay, because let's just be simple. God said, be a man, be strong, act like a man. It's not good, man, to be alone. That's not just for marriage. Right. Okay. How do you build a relationship with another dude?
Yeah.
How do you integrate that?
Well, that's what we want.
life?
That
What
was
does
the
that
next
look
question
like?
that I actually had was, first, before we talk about the practical way of how we do it, we just talked about why isolation is dangerous. And now we're talking about, okay, well, God's for integration, right? He's for community. So why do you think that's important to God, the integration? And we know it is, but why do you think, and what's some examples maybe in your own life or in the Bible?
Well, there's a couple
you
of things
can
I
see.
think. Let's look at Jesus. I mean, he's why
That's
we're
what I
here.
was thinking.
We're following after
Yep.
Jesus. Okay,
Yep.
Jesus wasn't pulling his self-worth. He wasn't pulling his identity from the crowds. He wasn't necessarily pulling it from his disciples. He was pulling it first and foremost from his Father.
Yep.
His Father gave it. And because he got it from them, then he had three closest friends,
Yeah.
Peter, James, and John.
Yeah.
And then he had the 12.
Yep.
Then he had the 70, and then
Yeah.
he had the multitudes.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I'm saying that is that you can't have a relationship
Yeah.
with 5,000
Yeah.
people.
No.
There's going to be a few people
And that you can only have a
got
close relationship
probably
with.
5 people
Right.
in my life, 5 men on one hand that I could call instantaneously right now, and they would be here tomorrow.
Yep.
I don't have much more than that. Now, do I have friends that I'm hanging out with? I talk. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
But you ever got that one guy that you probably hadn't talked to in 6 months, and he calls you and like, "Hey, man," and you pick up right where you left off?
Yeah.
I think that's only a dude skill. That's only guys can do that. Yes, absolutely.
But that's what I'm saying. You got
Girls
those.
can't do that.
No, because
they're
it's too
pissed
many
that
details.
they hadn't
can't believe
called
you
each
didn't
other in
call
a week. Bro, thank you for not calling me every week. like I'm busy. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying.
But
There's
yes.
a connection that you've made there. I've got lifelong friends that I've made 30 years ago. And we call each other every 3-4 months maybe.
Yeah.
And we connect because there's something we're already connected, and it's still there because it comes from a relationship that we have with the Father and then we have with each other.
And that's a brotherhood. You know, that's a brother. And that's really the integration that we're talking about today. So all you men who are listening, we're talking about the integration of brothers. Like, he is our Father, and then spiritually we have the same Father. We're washed by the same blood, same faith, same baptism, same Lord. So we're brothers in the Spirit.
Yeah.
But we don't, in the church today, we don't see that way sometimes, you know? And I think that's where God can do so much. You know, he says, Psalm 133, how pleasant and powerful it is when our brethren dwell together in unity. You know, like there is something that's to that, and we've seen it. When God really works, man, there's just a brothers, like just putting their arm around each other, like, let's go. And like you said, we can't all be tied.
Can't be friends with everybody.
1,000, but you got them few that he wanted you with, that he called for your purpose to be that brother, and then they'll have their few, and then when that's connected, man, it's just a powerful thing. I think that's what he takes pleasure in. Because as a father now, with a son who's now going to college and my kids are going through, you know, they get older, man, you know, like, it's just something about when the greatest gift you have is watching your children together.
Yep.
Like, just wanting to do something together. Like, there's nothing. It's like, man, I feel like he's just lining up ready to do something when we get together.
Whatever
that way.
you want, I'll do it because you are together.
I think that's why he said, though, a whole chapter was dedicated on, if you love me, you love your brother. If you hate your brother, you hate me. That's what he said. If you love your brother, you love me. Whatever you're doing to them is what you're doing to me. He's like trying to emphasize, like, we need this brotherhood. And I think if we see it that way, look at Jesus, who comes down to earth before he established the church, even before he died on the cross. He had a brotherhood.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much built a brotherhood, like the brothers.
You ever thought about this? Whenever he went up on the mountain, he had Peter, James, and John go with him.
Yep.
He was going up there to be with his Father, and he invited them.
Yep.
That, for me, it's not that Peter said, hey, we need to build a temple here. But he invited them into an intimate part of his life with his Father.
Yep.
And I'm like, wow. Now, with that said, we don't typically use terminology about brotherhood and being intimate. We're like, ooh, we don't want to reveal too much about our life. Why? Because we're afraid of what?
Yeah.
They're going to reject you?
Yeah.
I'm like, what did they do? Jesus was there with his Father, and he brought them in, and they saw how he functioned with his Father, which said something about their relationship.
Their relationship with him, like he was that close. And I just feel like, the Bible says, as iron sharpens iron, man sharpens counsel friend, Proverbs 27:17. And then you think about the one where it says, a friend showeth himself friendly shall have many friends.
Yep.
And then he goes on to say, but you have a friend that sticks closer than a brother, talking about Jesus. Now, he could have used any relationship, a friend that sticks closer than a mother to a child.
But he
said brother. He was, there's something about, like, it's like a brother. Like my brothers, we've been in knockdown dragouts. I'm sure y'all can attest to this too.
They couldn't.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean you walk hand in hand and everything's just like, we always
that you agree.
We agree on everything, but it means like there's a bond that hell can't break.
Exactly.
There's a bond that it don't matter what's going on. If my brother called me right now and he's in a spot, he knows where I'm gonna be.
Even if you had an argument,
I'm not asking what you did. We're gonna handle the situation, and then we'll talk about you being a dummy later.
Exactly.
That's right.
And that is where I feel God wants to get us, and that's what connects us to our purpose. It's what connects us to a lot of the things we're chasing out and trying to get to. It's like I was saying earlier, David couldn't even get to that throne if it wasn't for Jonathan. Then God connected him to that, and their souls were knit together. The Bible said. I mean, there was like that. There was some connection there, and that's, I feel like, what God's trying to get us to. It's important for us to be integrated. So here's the big question that everybody's, if you're watching, that you probably want to know, because honestly, I want to know it myself, because I think we know it's important, but how do we actually get there? So
how do we integrate with one another?
How do we integrate? So first, let's say this. Why do we think that myself, yourself, and other men resist integration? When it comes with other men, like, what is
pride?
That's what I mean,
just
for me,
pride.
Yeah,
I'm
pride or being let down before, betrayal.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you betrayal.
Because I'm a loyal person, and when you're loyal and somebody cuts you, it's like you put up a wall.
I'm gonna let you know, and I may be cut down for this, and it's okay. It's okay. In the comments, they may be like, "Dude, you're an idiot."
Bring it on, Michael.
I've been told that before. It's okay. It's okay. But
glad they're telling you.
Betrayal from another guy that you are, quote unquote,
that you let in,
that you
let in the circle,
that's in your dot.
Yeah.
Because if you're a dude, you really only have a dot of people that betrayal from that is almost worse than betrayal from a wife or a spouse. I'm just telling you, it hurts.
Hey, you're probably gonna get some blowback on that.
I am. I know, but I'm telling you, it hurts.
No, I know what you're saying.
There is a different kind of just devastation.
Well, we're pain averse. We are always trying. We don't want to hurt. We don't want to. And just like you're saying, if I've gotten betrayed, I'm like, all right, I'll never trust anybody. Well, I mean, let's go back to this whole trust thing.
I mean, but girls are different, dude. Girls,
I'm saying,
you understand girls are
I agree with that.
But
what I'm saying is that it's hard for us
dude,
I love the sound effect.
Y'all need to pray for Mike.
That's right.
Girls are going to be coming in.
That's right.
Well, here's what I'm saying is that as men, we don't let people in.
True.
And it's very rare that we let them in. I don't tell everybody my heart.
No. And
I don't. And that's a wise thing.
Yeah.
However, once we get to a place of trust, And then you do, and then when that's betrayed, that's why it's like, oh my gosh, I let you know stuff about me that nobody else knows. And then you betrayed that.
Yeah.
You know, now with that said, let's look at somebody that's hanging on the cross.
Oh, yeah.
He got betrayed, buddy. He got betrayed big time. So with that said, no.
You're right.
As followers of Jesus, I go back and go, Lord, you know, man, it's hard to gain the trust back. It's easy to lose it, but it's hard to gain it back.
Yeah.
But don't make people earn it.
Right.
Love covers a multitude of sin. Yeah. The reason I'm saying that, have I been hurt? Yes. Over the years, have people said ugly things about me? Have I said ugly things about people? Yes. And but I went to people, and because you had a relationship, like, man, I've been an a-hole.
Yeah.
And I was wrong. And that person go, yeah, you were, but I love you anyway. And that's when you know I still have a connection with that guy.
That's right.
Well, that's when you know you have a connection with God, because to be able to let things like that, you think about Jesus saying, okay, he knew Judas was going to betray him.
He knew it.
But he says, I'm going to wash his feet.
Oof.
I mean, I know who it is, but I'm going to wash your feet and not say anything about it. Because in his mind, that's when in the very next verse is when he says, this is how they know you're my disciples, for your love for one another. Oh no!
See,
your father. When you got that father, you love them even if they do betray you. But that's the like you said. I think it all goes to pride that flesh has, because you got to get rid of all that.
Well, I think that's good. And I was going to share that or that part of that verse, and not just nitpick verses for our own benefit, but not that. This is how you know. He could have said, they'll know you're my disciples because of the miracles that you do, the works you do in my name, the demons you cast out in my name, and all this great, wonderful thing, which I'm not making light of that. They did those things. Yeah. And it was unbelievable. Yeah. But his very next statement was not your love for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on.
Your love for one another.
It was your love for one another. Yeah. How you treat each other that are in this. And
he was talking to the.
It wasn't all people. Exactly. It was not. He did not say your love for everybody.
For the world.
Which we do. For God so loved the world. That's a different thing. He's talking about they're going to know who Jesus is because of how this dot treats each other and cares and takes care of. That right there showed me, several years ago because I was kind of like, you know what? I got this. I got this. I got it, which is so dangerous. It was so dangerous. Yeah. And why is it scary? Because if you're integrating, and I'm just going to tell you from a younger guy that's not as seasoned and has wisdom like y'all, it's hard for me to say, yes, I need to integrate because I am admitting I ain't got this.
Right. That I can't do it alone.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if I'm admitting that openly to myself,
I'm not strong enough.
There you go. Yeah. And sometimes that's not okay.
Which goes back to
being
full of yourself.
No, it doesn't. No, it goes back.
Honestly, think about it.
Okay, it does. Kind of.
I mean, think about it. If I'm not strong enough, because but greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. Yeah. So I'm like, Lord, you give me a strength to be able to stand up under pressure, not because I'm good. Now, I do believe that we will go through difficulties. We will go through times of betrayal.
Personal.
And people will betray us. And the thing is this is one of the things I learned years ago. I pre-decide some things, meaning, okay, Lord, this is what you said. So when that does happen, I'm not going to react. I'm going to respond.
Right.
I'm going to respond when somebody betrays me. I'm going to respond with love.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like that. I did that last week about somebody. Yeah. And I walked away and I dealt with it with God. And then I came back. I didn't have to repent. Because I didn't do anything. But I wanted to.
But that's
I wanted to.
That moment though, you're talking about in John 13 when you're talking about Jesus washed Judas's feet, and when he said that, and he could have said anything. Like think about how powerful that was for them. Sitting at the table, they have all this respect. I mean, they see him do miracles, they know who he is. And then he says, someone's going to betray me. but he's got on his feet and water. That's why Peter's like, no, you ain't washed my feet. No, I have to, you know. But he washes their feet and then says, this is what you do for one another. And he said, this is how they're going to know my disciples. That's how you love one another. And man, in our walk with God, like that's what represents the kingdom. That's what does away with all the flesh. That's really where we get to the spot of manhood, is when we have that kind of love. It's not the other stuff. We think of that manhood as like being that guy who's just so tough and strong.
Swinging your sword,
and that's awesome. But it's really the God love. And you know it because in the Bible, he talks about what love is. And then at the very end, he says, when I was a child, I spoke as a child.
Yep.
I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. Now, why is that in the love chapter? Because he's saying, I put away, all that don't even mean anything. Being a man is somebody who can love like Christ loved me. Being able to, and that's integrating. I mean, that's what love is. But like you said, our flesh don't want anything to do with it.
The second thing outside of pride that really kind of got me, that's in things that I feel like Jacob and I have talked about when he decided that he was going to take her is, bro, I know who you are.
I know how stupid you are.
I got dirt on you.
Yeah, I mean,
I got all kinds of stories.
I know who you are,
Yeah.
and you're gonna say, "I need to get in the group and lock arms with you, and we're gonna pray." Like,
Yeah.
bro, don't forget. I know where you came from.
Come on. That's a good point.
I know, or it may be okay that it's me and Todd, but I also know that you've gone to that group. And you go to that group and you're with them. Todd don't really know my background. He knows kind of like a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But you were there with me.
Yeah.
And you know.
Yeah.
You did it with me.
Yeah.
We did
was
it
there together. Yes, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm telling you, that's some of the stuff that kind of flared. Now, one of the things that I heard,
hitting on something.
It is one. Bro, you're going to tell me what? Like, I know you. You know
What
I know
authority
you.
do you have to say anything to me?
And two,
It's pride.
and two, he knows me.
Well, I think too on the side of the coin that you're talking about is there's guys like some guy I was just talking to this morning. They want to have that, but they, especially when it comes to a Christian brotherhood, they feel shame. They feel things they've done wrong. They feel like talking about, I know who you are. Well, we know who everybody knows what you've done.
Yeah.
And they feel like I can't come in.
I don't have any authority to
And that was what I think Jesus was so good at. Like when I talk about integration, I'm talking about practical ways, and that's what I want to propose this question. But I'm gonna give an example. But like giving an example of ways that men who are listening, who say, okay, it's not good to be alone. I want to have that. I want to have the brotherhood like these teams have when they're in locker rooms. Man, they go to war together. Like honestly, I've experienced that in sports, and there's nothing like it. That's why men crave it. That's why men join gangs. They want this family that fights for one another. And how do we get it inside the church? What are some practical ways?
Shared
and I think
experience.
The practical ways of what we can give men, like an intentional way they can reconnect with God and reconnect with brothers. How can we do that? I think one way is for us who are leaders, especially like as men in the church or whatever, you think about Jesus, he was really good at that. The man who thought there's no way he's coming up in this group of people. But Jesus went out and sought him out and was like, hey, and let him know, like, the shame's been done away with on the cross, man. You know, we're all on the same level playing field, and find ways to invite him in, you know, to get him connected.
And I can I'll touch and then leave off, but I can attest to, I've never in my, I was thankful to be raised by a phenomenal dad and really hit on identity and who you are. And so embarrassment was kind of hard. Yeah. Like, you weren't, it wasn't really a thing you felt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The first time I dealt with shame, real shame, bro, I was struggling coming out of the house because when people would look you in the eye, like they would look you in the eye.
We
and
know what you did.
They was thinking,
it was
because you were thinking it.
You shake their hand and it's like it's firmer and a lot stiffer and a lot more solemn, like their lips are pursed. And that wasn't the case, but it was just the weight of it. It was not, I'm ashamed because I gambled money away or something. I'm talking about real deep, the kind of shame that Paul says there is no condemnation
in Christ Jesus.
In Christ Jesus. That kind of shame.
Right.
Not the I need your forgiveness because I did this wrong. It's that kind of condemnation where you're not walking out of your house. Mm-hmm. That's real. I understand that. Man, you read through Romans. If you have that, you read through Romans, man, ask God. He'll help you. But I think how we get that, and this may just be me, the only way you get that kind of bond, it ain't Bible study. That helps, and that helps. Shared experience.
Yeah.
Bro, the moment y'all went through on that baseball team, the hell y'all went through, the pain, the broken bones,
go through
the injury,
together.
Bingo.
You got to go through the cross together.
Bingo. You go through a shared experience of something that, and I don't know if somebody has to hurt, but
that's what I said earlier. We're pain averse. We don't want to feel pain. We don't want to have to suffer.
That's right.
But I'm telling you right now, it's part of life.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know those 4 guys that dropped down the lame man.
Yeah.
I wish, that's one of my weird questions I want to ask Jesus. Can I please have a snapshot of the rest of their life? What was their friendship like?
Yeah.
Bro, you're such good friends that you tore a hole in a dude's house.
Grab 4 corners of this bed.
He just walks out.
And he
Let's go play
walks out
soccer.
and doesn't say thank you or nothing. Like, I want to go, what was there?
And when you experience that, how much more faith do you think they had?
Dude,
how
exactly.
many more things you think they did together?
How strong was their bond after
That's
that?
what I want to, that's the kind of shared experience where maybe one of your guys are dead and you grab 3 people or 4 people be like, bro, let's go.
Well, that's like
Let's go.
Peter and John at first. They weren't the ones that would just like this. But, man, they went through some stuff together.
Yeah,
when Jesus gone,
I never really saw them
when you
liking
see
each
in
other.
Acts chapter 3, they together. They raising that lame man up, or the Lord is. But I'm just saying, like, they went through some stuff together, like you're talking about, and it's the only way.
Experience.
Yeah, it is.
And I think it's as simple as like the serve groups. One of the coolest things that there was a testimony that is personal to me and a close relation to me, and where the guy joined a group, a serve group, and all of a sudden cool things started happening.
Yeah.
Like, it's just this group of men, and cool things in the community started happening. And all of a sudden, this guy, his heart started kind of loosening a little bit to where now there was some, in his personal life, some tight stuff. All of a sudden, God started working personally because of, and now he ain't missing a day.
Yeah.
You know.
But see, here's one of the things that I learned years ago, and just being in ministry, is that discipling somebody is not Bible study.
Right.
It's not sitting down, let me preach to you.
Yeah.
What it is, I basically call it lifestyle discipleship. Yeah. I'm living my life. Hey, man.
Yeah.
Come, let's go do this. A shared experience. I'm living my life out, and we're going to have ups and downs. And because of that, they look and they see how you respond. They're like, how did you do that? And you're able to tell them without preaching to them, look what Jesus did.
And
he said, come follow me. He didn't say, come follow me and hear me preach.
Yeah.
He said, come follow me, and we're going to do this life together.
If you just hang around me long enough, you're gonna learn things because
and vice versa. I'm gonna learn stuff from you.
Iron
you're gonna learn
sharpens iron.
Exactly, but
and I think
it doesn't necessarily have to be something negative.
Coaching.
It doesn't have to. You know, when you do sharpen something, it does hurt, but. Sometimes we look at, that pain is a bad thing. It's not. How do you think you build your muscles?
Build muscles up.
You got to break them down.
Muscles break down.
I do. I think 100%. So, a practical way for you men out there, we mentioned about joining a life group, joining a serve group, being a part of a group that's doing something in a life experience, like together. Because I'll go even deeper than that. Even with life groups, I mean, let's just say you met once a week. That's good. You can form some relationship. But you ever notice the brothers in church who are really, really close and who's experienced God? And like I notice even ones who come to our group, they happen to work with you. You know, it's like y'all have a own little group. Because why? Because you have proximity. You're around each other. You have to be around each other in a consistent basis.
That's it.
In order to have that kind of brotherhood.
Life together.
And a lot of times we think the brotherhood is only supposed to be like, oh, find us a person who's in the church on Sunday and we just
No.
And it don't really work that way. It's like we're connected here and we are part of this church and we're doing life outside of Sunday
Together.
every single day together.
I think it's not church. It's not, we just happen to go to the same church.
Right.
I think it's, it's coaching a 9 and 10-year-old baseball team together.
Yep.
Where it's
100%.
two guys where it's like, these two guys, we're going to do this. And you're praying over kids, and all of a sudden something cool happens to one kid. And all of a sudden you're like, bro, that was so
awesome.
That was so okay. And then baseball turns into football.
There's a
then
connection.
football turns into, hey, we're doing something. We're cooking out this weekend. You and your kids want to come?
Yep.
It's, like weird stuff. And I started thinking like me and, man, I got to play golf with Evan Style the other day.
Did you?
Dude, it's been so
Evan.
long. I love it. I started thinking of me and him and Zach, some of the coolest things at youth camp, because me and Evan were talking about like
That's fun.
people, a girl with a broken arm that got healed at youth camp, like people who had, what was that one camp you sung at one year, and this girl just was broke down because of the depression. I mean, she was on so much pills, it'd tranquilize a freaking giraffe. I mean, it's unreal, the doses this person would take. And dude, immediately, like one of the things just boom, dropped. And she said, I can smile for the first time. Things like that. Now, yes, we have different families now. And we're kind of.
Well, I'm glad you're saying that. As you get older, being the oldest person at the table, you have a tendency, life takes you this way, and some of your friends' life takes you that way.
Yeah.
And you wind up, and I've noticed this in my life and other people's life, you have a tendency to get separated. Because we don't have the same shared experiences. Like for right now, most people my age have grandchildren. I don't have grandchildren yet. So I don't really connect
So
with
it's
those.
hard to have the same.
So I don't connect. So I find it in other ways. And because I realize we have to have it.
Yep.
My wife has to have it with other women. I have to have it with other men.
That's right.
And not, me and Nina, great, but there's something different with a connection with other men.
Yeah.
We have
100%.
to have that. But as you get older, you have a tendency to go, oh, well, we'll do that later. I'm tired, or I've done that. And the thing is, that's part of how the enemy comes in and says, oh, I don't need this. I'm old enough.
Yeah, it's so awesome to see when you realize what you was able to accomplish together, that you realize there's no way I could have done that by myself.
Yep.
It's the benefit of playing team sports. Somebody who's played it his whole life and coached it, and Mike, but if you ask I'm talking about any one of them, and you go back and you say, okay, well, whether you won a national championship, state championship, you won all this, what's the greatest thing, and what do you miss the most? They're all going to say the locker room.
The locker room,
I
dude.
miss the brotherhood.
The locker
I
room.
miss just that bond that we
Camaraderie.
had. Because, you get older, like you say, things separate you, but there was just something about every single day you had this camaraderie, this brotherhood.
This push.
That fighting together for
Yes.
something that's bigger than yourself. Like, that's what makes the military, like, you're fighting for a mission together that's bigger than you.
That you wouldn't let somebody take off or slough off a day, a week, because you knew what it, but they would do the same for you the next week. You're like, dude, I'm just tired. Like, what you doing, bro?
Can you imagine
No, get that rep.
what that's like as a church? And we've seen it. You've seen it before, but if a group of brothers had this burden and something as simple as praying for this. Like the time we prayed for my brother's child who's pronounced dead.
Yeah, bro.
And then you pray together with them with tears in your eyes, and then you watch God raise them back. Well, what it does is now you're like, we stand 10 feet tall and bulletproof.
That's right.
And there's nothing breaking that. Like there's those moments it does for you as we go, and we have to see it the same way. The enemy's trying to isolate us, to keep us from, he knows what'll happen when that brother comes together in unity.
Solidifies on that one.
Man.
Micah said, I think it was Micah, I asked you, talking about your knees earlier. They're
Yep.
messed up,
Yep.
messed up from football. And, you know, I have an older brother whose knees are messed up from football. And I said, knowing what you know about your knees, would you still go back and do it?
Mm-hmm.
And what did you say?
100%, unquestioned.
I'm like, your knees are jacked up. You can't. You were talking about it popping out of the place. I can't even walk. And one of your workers are going, I can't put it back. I can't put it. And here you are going, I'd go back. It's worth it.
I'm just telling you, him describing, like I had chills. Him just describing,
Just thinking about it.
that senior year, because we played from 5 years old. That same group of 10 and 11
Put some stuff together.
moved up,
There was some blood, sweat, and tears together.
like for real.
Yeah.
There were and there was 26 of us that never left. Never. Every year we moved, and finally it was. I cannot tell you. Oh man, what it was, and just like what you said, you search for that.
Oh, yeah.
There has not ever been a thing I've ever had.
So
like that.
how do we,
Right.
as men of God, provide that
question.
opportunity,
That's the
provide
question.
that atmosphere for men to be
I
able
do
to do
think,
that?
good.
I do think,
That's
and I do
good.
think it's
That's
life
good.
experiences, and I think it's finding ways to do those things together. I remember when we had this revival, and the men went on a retreat before the revival started. The men went on a retreat, so it was like 30 of us men, and that men who came back. Man, that Sunday morning, there was some walls that came down, you know. And it wasn't, like you're saying, it wasn't like on their retreat, all we did was go to Bible studies and get preached to. We went and played golf. You know, we went and did stuff together and hung out together. We was on the beach together. And it just asked God to meet with us.
We've been overpreached and
Yeah.
under-challenged.
Yeah. But as we just got together and did it, men came and confessed stuff the Sunday we're supposed to start. I watched them heal with their wives, just up at the altar with their wife, and like just you didn't have to say anything. Like you knew God was working to the point when the revival was such a revival. It literally was a real revival that before it started, when we in the thing praying, I literally even said, and one of the pastors who was preaching for the revival, I was like, man, I feel like we're about to go out the tunnel. Like, I feel like, man, we would pray, like all the men are excited. Like, I feel like we're like that day when we're coming out the tunnel about to take the field, you know? And he was laughing. He thought it was hilarious. But he's like, yeah, because you felt that brotherhood. And that verse, that's how pleasant and powerful it is for the brethren to dwell together in unity. I'm like, dude.
Connection.
Yeah. And I don't know. To answer the question, that's the question I'm really asking. I think we need to be intentional about connecting.
You just stole the word out of my intention out. You have to be, and me personally, look, especially this semester, you know, with the Kingsman thing, I have just been exhausted and overwhelmed. Dude, it's just been a lot this semester. And and I have slacked. I've just pulled any chance I can get just to catch a break for an hour or two. I bet you felt like that a little bit.
I've felt it 100%.
I bet you felt like that.
Never.
I know. You're ready to go. So
I think that's the number one answer that us men say, well, I just can't.
I got time.
But we don't realize that's actually what's going to energize and refresh us.
Exactly.
So bingo.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think the challenge
just
is
in talking
for
this.
us, especially men who are leaders, but any man who's listening, I think it's to be intentional about, let's just do one thing this week that we can be intentional ourselves, not wait for somebody, because a lot of us want it, but we're waiting for somebody else. Not wait for somebody else to do it, but be intentional to make a connection with a brother.
And the thing is that let's not have the touchdown in mind.
Right.
I need advance 5 yards.
Let's make it 2nd and 5.
5 yards.
2nd and 5.
5 yards, because we go, well, you go one meeting. Well, I guess I didn't make a touchdown tonight.
Yeah.
It's going to take some time.
Yeah.
I mean, there are times where you get to run the ball all the way back, 100 yard. You know, but those are rare.
Yeah. Man,
I said it's the 2 yards here.
Just
5
make
yards
one.
there.
I mean, it can be because we invited a man at church who just had on the heart to come to the house. You know, we're gonna cook and come out. Like we just got to find ways to do little things, connect as brothers because we need each other. Remember, the devil isolates, but God integrates. That's what he's after. And that's where our strength is.
That's right.
So, guys, we want to challenge you this week. Be intentional about finding a brother. Be intentional about making that connection. And let's continue to build on that connection each and every time. one thing at a time. Let's get a first down, like Todd said. All right. We appreciate y'all watching. We hope it blessed your heart. Make sure you stay tuned for next time. We look forward to seeing you. Until then, God bless.